Well, I got a question. What's the log base 3 of 5? Log base 3 of 5. Let me stop and make that one last one. I said this was going to be the last question on this section, but it's not. There's one more. You don't usually have to calculate that. There's usually no point in calculating the log base 3 of 5, but I want to do it in this case just to maybe prove something or to get into something. We know how to find the log of 5, don't we? Log of 5. Everybody knows how to do log of 5? When I say log of 5, I mean log base 10 of 5. Yeah. You just take 5 in the calculator and push the log button. All right. Everybody in here knows how to find the ln of 5, right? Yeah. You just push the ln button. Well, do you have a button on your calculator for log base 3? Log base 3 of 5. You don't have anything like that on your calculator, do you? So what you'll have to do, you'll have to say, I don't know how to do that. Let's let it equal x. Let it equal x. Let that be the unknown, which at this point it is. It is the unknown. I don't have any idea what that is. Now, can you translate this over into exponential notation? 3 raised to the x power equals to 5. Now, the only problem here is that you have to solve an equation where there's an exponent in the equation, and you don't know what that is either. So did I really help any by doing this? Well, actually, this is the bridge into section 4.04. Because in section 4.04, what we want to do is solve exponential equations. And the technique that we use is to take the log of both sides. Right? I want to take the log of both sides of this equation. So let me write that equation down again, just like it is. 3 raised to the x power equals to 5. And I want to take the log of both sides, or the ln of both sides. ln or log. By the way, you can do either ln or log. Usually we use ln. I usually use ln because we use ln more in the higher math than we do log base 10. But I want to go on record as saying that you can use either log of both sides or ln of both sides. So let's do ln of both sides. ln of this and ln of that. Now, remember the property of logarithms. ln of 3 to the x is what? X times the ln of 3. Okay? X times the ln of 3 equals to the ln of 5. Now, what do you know about the ln of 3? It's just a number, isn't it? You can get that on your calculator, right? It's just a plain old number. Now, the power of logarithms is this. We started with an exponential equation where the variable is in the exponent. And the next thing we know, we use the property of logarithms, the law of logarithms, and it converts it from an exponential equation into an algebraic equation. So this becomes an algebraic equation. How do you solve an algebraic equation? X times some number. Divide both sides by the ln of 3, right? Divide both sides by the ln of 3. Okay? Now, take the ln of 5, divide it by the ln of 3, and you can do that with your calculator, right? No problem? Did you get an answer?
1.46.
1.46. Okay? So in other words, x equals, I shouldn't have written it down there. I should have written it the next step down, but there's no room for it. So I'll come back over here. Sorry about that. X equals, what's it? 1.46. Okay, 1.46, that's the value of x when you do that calculation. Any question on that? Back when I was talking about, and this ought to be spliced into the tape somewhere, when I was talking about log base 3 of 5, and then I got off track on something else and I forgot to come back and do it. Oh, I didn't finish that one now.
How would I put that into the calculator now when I was going to check it? I'd say log.
Right, you want to do this with a calculator?
Yeah.
We got to do that. We got to do this first. The way I do this now in my head, 3 to the 0 equals 1. So x equals 0. 3 to the 0 equals 1. 3 to the x equals 1, and therefore x equals 0. Okay, but now let me go back to this. Log base 3 of 5 And let's say we want to find the log base v of x. Right? Instead of saying the log base 3 of 5, start to do that. We let that equal x, and then what? What did we end up with? 3 to the x equals 5. Yeah, we did this, didn't we? And then I forgot to make the most important point I was going to make about it. So I got to figure a way to splice this back in, right? Someday. So this would be, we take the ln of both sides quickly. ln of both sides, that would be x times the ln of 3 is equal to the ln of 5. And therefore x equals to the ln of 5 divided by the ln of 3. Okay? We did that, and then I forgot to make the point that I wanted to make. Log base 3 of 5 turns out to be the ln of 5 over the ln of 3. You see that? In other words, the ln of this divided by the ln of that. Is that useful? Yes. So I was saying we have a calculator button on the calculator that is missing. You don't have a log base 3 button for your calculator. So what I should have said is now, what is the log base v of x? How do I find the log base v of x? Do you have a clue as to what it might be? What's the ln log base 5 of 3? It was the ln of 5 over the ln of 3. So what do you think this would be? The ln, speculate for me. ln of x over the ln of b. Okay? You think we could prove that? Be easy enough. We start by saying, well, let's say we don't know what that is. Let's let it equal y. And then translate it for me. This is going to be equal to y. Now translate that for me out of logarithms into exponential notation. What would you say? V to the y equals x. Alright? And now we take the ln of both sides, right? Take the ln of both sides, so that would be the ln of this and the ln of this. And then ln of v to the y would be y times the ln of b, isn't it? And what that y times the ln of b equals to the ln of x. Okay? Now how do I solve for y? I'm trying to solve for y here, by the way. Divide both sides by ln of b. Divide both sides by the ln of b. And what you end up with is y equals the ln of x divided by the ln of b. Okay? Now, this y is that y, isn't it? So therefore, log base v of x is equal to ln of x over the ln of b. So it's a very simple thing to remember. If you want to take the log, let me do a problem now. Let's say I want to find log base 37 of 5. Log base 5 of 37. What would you do in order to calculate that with your calculator? What would you do? Start with the ln of 37 divided by the ln of 5. And what does that give you? Anybody want to calculate it for me? Did you put equals? Equal. Just hit equals. Tell me what you get. Oh, you did. All right. So what you'll have to do is do the ln of, do 37 ln divided by 5 ln, and then equals.
2.24.
That sounds good. 2.24. See, I knew it had to be more than 2, because 5 squared is 25. And I know 37 is more than 25, so it's got to be more than 2, but yet less than 3. Okay? So when you said 1 point something, I knew you hadn't pushed the equals button. All right? All right. No extra charge. This explanation should have been given back a few minutes ago. I apologize for that. All right, one more problem to do, and then we'll be out of here for now, and then we'll take a break and come back and finish the other part in a few minutes. Tee. I'd like to do one more problem. Which one do I want to do here? How about number 30? Number 30. Log base 3 of x minus 2 equals to log base 3 of x plus 2 plus 2. All right? Now, I've got a problem here. I've got logs on both sides of the equation. I want to get the logs on the same side of the equation. What would it be?